Hi, it was Derek talking with famous people, talking about multi fractal verse. I'm going to talk about Martin's comment now, having addressed Jeremiah's. I'm going to address Martin's more. He says, "What about a simulator where consciousness essence is focused through an atomic biological evolved body that's transmitting and creating wave collapse through a vessel that can read the data that gives the simulator the illusion of solidity?" Simulator's landscape and everything in it is data stream, though the vessel giving the illusion of space and is a render through the vessel. Okay, well, here's the thing about that notion. I don't think that that's making a meaningful distinction. I don't think that that tells us anything. I've encountered this notion of trying to find the difference between a simulated reality and a real reality. And what is this thing we're doing? Well, the problem is data. There's the problem with this, right? What about a simulator where consciousness, essence, is focused through an atomic biological evolved body that is transmitting and creating wave collapse? Okay, this is the part of the thing that's interesting. Like, okay, can we somehow create a machine that observes enough to collapse something from its quantum superposition into a manifest certainty? Well, for the machine that manifests it, yes, it will be a manifest certainty and it'll be a reality. But until we observe it, it's not a reality for us. So it's a meaningless point. The answer itself is in superposition, undecided, until we observe the simulator. Now, if it's being posited here that our own existence is that, okay, well, if again, it operates from the assumption that we share a single core true reality and our own personal realities are informed by, defined by, whatever by, or interact within, or play. That's where we play, or something like that. But I think the point is that's reflecting a space bias, that there's no reason to assume that something's more real because it's more spatial. All metaverses have their physics, but we tend to think about the one that comes through S as being more real than the one that comes through T or F or N. Why? I don't know. I guess it's because it's easier to verify with somebody else, maybe? I'm not sure. Now he also says, pretty much like the INTP physicist Tom Campbell's TOE, but weakly broken down and pressed butchered by myself. I did ask if the model was just an INTP's way of system building and the non-physical, in which Tom Campbell says outside the physical, is merely his unconscious. and entities in the non-physical. He points to perhaps archetypal, but from feedback I was told this is not the case. I wondered if we could get over consciousness being outside of the material brain, maybe build a bridge between creationism and evolution somehow and meet halfway in some kind of metaphysical void with my INFJ pattern combining, but it was short-lived as he didn't want to jump into the void with me. I tried with an ENTJ, and as soon as I could not present any kind of data, he shut me down. Well, you're in the right place, friend. That sounds like a bomb idea to me. Look, here's what I think about this. Can we get over consciousness being the source? Well, this is the interesting thing about the top party, that it's a simulator where consciousness essence is focused through an atomic biological evolved body. Okay, it is transmitting and creating wave clouds. Is that what? Or is that a positive for the first part? Because it should be, right? If you're saying um, consciousness is focused, parentheses, a process of wave of transmission and creation of wave clouds somehow. It would like have to. I think the way you'd have to do it is say something. I'm not sure, but my point is that consciousness is that process. I think that might be what you're saying. It might not. The other issue I have here is which data is coming in and how much of that data gathering is directed by the consciousness. If the consciousness itself is perceived to have free will or to make decisions, or even if not to make decisions, to execute algorithms of sufficient complexity that the outcomes are in a state of quantum uncertainty superposition until a until the preferred metaverse can be determined, in which case the outcome is obviously always 100% true. So if in fact something's muddled, I can also always parse it into smaller and smaller, more distinct metaverses until I get that thing demuddled. If something's really clear, I can always meta up and evaluate it in the frameworks of other metaverses to show the lack of apparent universality of this. Universalizability, sorry. And that is what it means to have a fractal multi-metaverse, is the reality that you can convert the level and nature of an object such that it plays a different role in a different metaverse, but more or less every metaverse has all the roles, and every object in every metaverse can play every other role in every other metaverse if the linking is done, at which point a new metaverse is generated whenever linking is done. It's like the old one, but informed with this new thing. And it's a great verb, to inform, right? Like, well, this artist's work was informed by his early childhood love of jazz or something. That means here's why he keeps painting little jazz stuff in his pictures. Here's the story we're going with. We're going with the fact that it was informed by his childhood love of jazz. Okay, what does that mean? It means basically here are a couple of narratives that that create a metaverse in which a character named Homie uh, displays a specific set of value prioritizations, and everybody has a party. Thanks for watching.